With a quivering voice and an overflowing heart, Bai took Chanti's hand and said, "Will you marry me?" She looked into his eyes for what seemed like an eternal second and finally said, "Yes, I will." There was much going against this young couple in love in time of war. For one thing, he was from a small village in the south of Vietnam with barely 3 years of education. She from the north, attending accounting school at a business university. Her parents were not entirely happy with the match. But there was a much bigger problem. He was a pilot flying the MiG-17, which was no match for the American planes, which were much better armed, faster, and greatly outnumbered the fledgling Vietnamese Air Force. The pilots often slept under the wings of the airplanes, for the call to scramble to engage the enemy could come at any moment, and the chances of returning alive were not great. Indeed, Chanti, having no access to a telephone, would furiously bike to the base to see if he had survived just one more day. And yet this tiny, simple, shy man who could barely read, measuring scarcely 5'6" tall, would in time become a legendary Top Gun fighter pilot, a beloved national hero, shooting down 7 American airplanes, and doing it while flying a MiG-17, which against American jets which were much more advanced. Indeed, in 1965, Vietnam had only 36 MiG-17s. The Americans had 450 fighter jets plus support aircraft. But with the inventiveness and creativity that Li Tai-to had used to defeat the mighty Chinese Ming Dynasty 600 years earlier, Bai created an aerial combat technique which was essentially guerrilla warfare in disguise, which created such losses that the Americans were forced to completely revamp the training program for the entire fleet. His appointment with destiny unfolded on April the 29th of 1966. The gong to scramble came, and he roared his MiG-17 into the skies. He got lucky. He spotted an F-105 Thunder Chief before it could spawn in, and the instincts of the Black Eagle of his youth took over him. However, the gun sight on the MiG-17 was so poor that it required of Bai to get within a highly reckless 150 meters before firing. He fired a burst of his 23mm cannon and instantly saw smoke and flames. He had made his first kill. It had been just 1 week since he had got married, completing the ceremony in only 15 minutes because he had to return to duty. He would later write of the incredible joy which seized him and how he began shouting with abandonment like some crazed schoolyard boy. He saw the F-105 careen into a dive. It was being flown by Lieutenant Donald W. Brooke, who, for some mysterious reason, never parachuted out. He would later become the subject of some controversy, as his body was never recovered. For many years, U.S. authorities and survivors believed that the Vietnamese, for some unclear reason, had kept him secretly alive in captivity. Bai would go on to fight a total of 94 sorties, engaging in many dogfights and scoring 7 kills. An incredible accomplishment, especially considering that he was flying the much inferior MiG-17. And adding one more crazy twist to this whole incredible story, at this point, he still did not know how to drive a car. That would come only after the war.